always me. And the love I fought to feel was always free. What if all the things I've done were just attempts at ending love? 'Cause the hole inside my heart is stupid deep. Stupid deep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stupid deep. Stupid deep. Ooh, yeah, stupid deep. What if where I tried to go is always here, and the path I tried to cut was always clear? Why has life become a plan to put some money in my head, when the love I really need is stupid cheap? Stupid cheap. Oh, 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 yeah. What if who I hope to be was always me, and the love I fought to feel was always here? Why has life become a plan to put some money in my head, when the love I really need is stupid cheap? Is stupid cheap. Stupid cheap. Yeah. Stupid cheap. Stupid deep. What's the struggle for? I mean the rat race on a daily basis, hustle and bustle. Is it the money? Is it the food on the table? You know, someone was telling me, right, that at the end of the day, why we work, why we even build our houses, is to just have somewhere that we could sleep and then go to toilet. I don't want to mention that slang that people use, that 4-word slang. Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine, Pastor Great Iria, would say, if I would have to live my life like this, holy and righteous, why not I die now and go to heaven? But then that's not the essence of life at the end of the day. There's something more deeper. And that's why we go to mosques every Fridays and then church tomorrow, right? Yeah. Stupid deep, oh. Stupid deep. This song was sung by John Bellion. Not written by me, actually. Hey, stupid deep.
Zali Republic. Amazing, amazing. And in that song, he asked a lot of deep philosophical questions. What is life all about? Today, we're taking a look at retiring in dignity. And for so many people, retirement is not just about stepping away from work. It's the transitioning into a new phase of life. And the big question remains, how do we retire with dignity? Our backgrounder, our conversation starter, will be answering these questions and more.
When you see this done in the military, it is called a pull-out parade. This officer is disengaging from military service. He's proceeding on retirement.
Rewarding one indeed, and I will always cherish my period in active service to the nation.
Skill is mobile. The owner of the skill takes it where the labor is needed, and the rewards for labor are salaries and wages. The The essence of trading skills is to earn a living. Everybody deserves a good life, at least, the basic necessities of life. People engage in occupations to provide for the lifestyle they want. A new phase of life begins for many when they start to work for income. But someday, this work life will come to an end. For some jobs, the date for departure is known from the first day at work. It is also true, employment could be terminated on short notice, sometimes without any notice. There is a wish for everyone to end work life in financial freedom, stable health, and with opportunities to catch up with other interests neglected in the past years. Work life takes a larger part of people's active years. When they are productive and resilient, with a focus to build careers and make it through the ranks of the job, they contribute meaningfully using their resourcefulness. But as age and time progresses, what had a beginning comes to an end. The retired are seen as experienced but worn out. A title like senior citizen is bestowed, even unsolicited. But what is life for a retiree?
The Nigerian Union of Pensioners.
Peaceful protest by retired persons.
Many of them tired and sickly.
I'm regretting joining Nigeria.
Pay us this money. I could have been in grave. That's what I'm saying.
There is dignity in labor. There should be dignity in retirement. A plan is best after years of hard work. A good retirement workout motivates for early retirement and excites a newly retired. For some who have a good scheme, the best part of life is the life after retirement. Be prepared. Pursue an outline for yourself.
He Soleto, he Africa, struggle continues.
Thank you. That background feature was packaged by our producer today, Emeka Nguluka, and is talking about the big transition and understanding retirement. And that's our whole focus today. If you understand what the transition will entail, then you be strategic and intentional in your planning and preparation. But guess what? To talk further, to delve deeper, we have guests who are here who will analyze and give us a clear path into making a retirement with dignity a purposeful and realistic one. Our first guest is Mr. Emmanuel Arome Sani. He's a principal consultant, Generic Concepts Management Consulting Limited. In fact, he's done a myriad of interesting things and is adept when we talk about things like this, retiring with dignity. His profile is next.
You're welcome to We Can Do. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
Okay, so Mr. Arome is not alone. There is an amazing woman sitting right by his side, a woman who has given all to working for her fatherland, Nigeria. She spent at least 35 years serving her fatherland, and today she's retired. She got to this post of a director. I mean, that's how hard she worked. She is Amina Ruth Aliu. Mama, you're welcome to We Can Do.
Thank you for having me.
You're looking retired but not tired, though. Or are you tired already, or you're just retired?
I'm retired.
You are retired but not tired.
Not tired.
Okay. All right. We would, before we start our conversation proper with Mama, I like to call her, we will go to NTA Benin. And one of the things that cause anxiety when retirement is coming is the finances. And NTA Benin will be telling us about that.
Retiring with dignity is having the financial security to live life to the fullest. It is about planning ahead, saving and investing wisely to ensure a comfortable retirement. With a solid financial foundation, you can pursue your passion and interest without worrying about the financial implications.
Most retirees that I know, some of them go into commerce, buying and selling. Some go into farming. Men who have energy, they go into farming. Some are already doing it now, even while, in service. Somebody can make some reasonable amount of money with a POS kind of micro activity. A worker should, while still in active life, should undertake investment.
To enjoy financial freedom after retirement, workers should start planning and saving early and also consider working with a financial advisor.
What I achieved during the time I was in the service, I trained my children. I made them to be serious about going to school. And they have finished now. They are working, and they place me in salary.
As a civil servant, it's very difficult to save. The only thing you can achieve as a civil servant is to train your children, because that's your future at the end of the day. When you train your children at your old age, they will take care of you. It was my children who set up this place for me.
Government so much arranged it to the extent that from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., they've taken the good part of the day. It's been sacrificed on their side. These are the problems. So they ordinarily, you can't just have enough time after you have been used at the government job in the office. You might have run up and down and come back. There's no other active hours for you to cater for yourself.
Aside from the mandatory retirement schemes, which other sustainable income streams can retirees embark on to attain financial freedom with less stress?
Saving does not require to wait. You cannot save until you start earning enough. You will not save. You save generally as a matter of necessity for the rainy day, even if it's not for retirement.
The state government adopted what we call contributory pension scheme. That in Edo State runs side by side with the defined benefit scheme, which is the old form of pension, the contributory pension scheme, which of course is the scheme whereby government and the individual employee is expected to set aside 30% of their monthly payment in order to save towards the rainy day.
Retirement should be a fulfilling and enjoyable phase of life, offering many opportunities for personal growth if properly planned ahead.
Yes, welcome back from Benin, Benin City, the heartbeat of the nation. That's talking about Edo State. We're back in the FCT. Can smile if you like. That's my state. And I think I saw some familiar faces there. I even saw some of my neighbors. Okay, it's time for us to delve into the meaty matter. Many of our background features have introduced us very squarely, and we now know our direction. Let me start with you, Mr. Emmanuel. You've done a myriad of things, and you're very comfortable with this kind of discourse. You've worked with retirees, you've fought their battles, and you know where it pinches. We talk about planning for retirement so we can retire with dignity. We've also come to learn that you must be strategic and intentional. If we were to bring that into clear focus, what would you say, in a nutshell, goes into planning intentionally for retirement?
Okay, thank you very much. It's an honor and privilege to be here. So far, so good. I have stayed around. My daddy retired 83, 84. And so I have seen my dad struggle through retirement as a retired military personnel. And we went back to the village and started life all over again. And for me, that was one of the reasons I didn't join the military, because I didn't see the fruits of why I should go and labor for 30-something years and come back and life is starting all over when I should have been resting. So that informed my curiosity. And my mom, who was also a business person, was the one who took over after my dad's retirement for 30, 40 years, drove the steering wheel of the family. And having gone through that, I'm business inclined because I took after my mom, and so began to pay attention. And so far so good, having gone to school and come out and then worked for 18 years for local international organizations, and then particularly with focus with marketing and sales, regional manager, personal assistant to the MD, head of admin and all that, all through 18 years before I started consulting in 2010, 2011. I began to take the Amnesty Boys in 2012.
So you retired with dignity.
Yes, 2012, and then 2013, 2014, up to 2019, 2020, you know, and all that. And then work with retirees. I've come to realize, just like you said, in a nutshell, the focus to get it right is centered on three things. Number one, pre- and post-retirement reorientation. Number two, entrepreneurial intelligence. Number three, financial intelligence. Until these three things are straightened out clearly, not on emergency note, because that's what we see all the time. The staff themselves who are about to retire don't even know what they are coming into. It's time for training, and they are looking for soft landing. They're looking for somebody who is going to take something cheap and train them, not even minding the core of the practicality of the world you are going into. So number one, the government need to pay attention to reorientating people about the difference between your regular going out to work and when you retire, feeling at ease to get up at your own time between 8, 10, 11 and just strolling out to a place of work. This time not stretching, but going out to catch fun. Now seeking fulfillment, because when you retire, it's no longer about how much I will make and what I'm going to do. That shouldn't be about that kind of hustling. It should be about fulfilling, having fulfillment in what you do. So you can have an office. There may be 4 or 5 people, you know, who gather there to just brainstorm as consultants, just like Mommy said. Where you do things with ease, and at that time your brilliancy is unbelievable. Because you are no longer book brilliance, you are practically brilliant. You have seen the note, the practicals, and you have solved problems. So when somebody is properly reorientated to that degree, is able to come to terms with the society is about to be reintroduced into. We all live together.
The position of like a mentor?
Yes. Where you are reintroduced into the society where you once belonged and you thought you were part of them. But now that you are coming out of full retirement, you are no longer going to go work every day as usual. You are now going to find yourself a stranger in the same business environment.
Wow.
So you need to be properly reorientated that this is what is coming. Number 2, entrepreneurial intelligence. If everything I have planned failed, what's my next backup option B plan? And as you see me, because of what my dad and my mom went through, I have option A, B, C, D.
Up to Z.
As much as you can. When they say millionaires and billionaires don't do one thing, that is the position of a retiree or a pre-retirement mindset person.
A pre-retirement.
Because you must be reoriented at the pre-retirement stage before you get into a post-retirement stage. If these mindsets are not articulated, lined up, precept, one step at a time, procedurally. Like economists will call in order of importance and urgency. If you are not properly taken through those paths, you will be shocked, like an electric shock will happen to somebody. when you
Okay,
get
thank
to
you,
the
thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Sani, it's our prayer that we don't get shocked like an electrical shock or
Yes.
something. We pray that we're able to retire. So I'm coming to you now, Mama. I'm coming to you now. I mean, you dedicated your life, your active life working for the government. You got to the top of your career, which I would say congratulations to you for, and then you retired. Would you say, was there any anxiety before you retired? Just say, as you're about to retire, did you feel any form of anxiety or fear of the world outside of work?
Thanks for having me, as I will say, and good morning to my listeners. Mine is a different ball game altogether.
Okay.
Because I started work from 1979. You know, when I graduated, I went through the NYSC, and then I started work back in Gongola State. Then I transferred to Taraba State, and then finally to FCDA. But by the time I was retiring, you know, 5 years to the retirement, we had a kind of talk or orientation. You are going to retire. You have to start planning.
That's 5 years before you
Yes.
retired.
Then the thing started, you know, coming home, that I will soon leave the service. But thereafter, when it actually came, it wasn't that I was really prepared, but I was looking out for something, and that thing was kind of freedom. That I don't have to report to work as early as 8 and close by 4, and then go to my house, and then the same thing keeps repeating itself. That I will take care of myself thereafter. I didn't know that it was not, you know, that way.
Wow, what happened?
Well, what happened was that you will be thinking that the money will come, and that you take care of yourself and manage what you have. But the money that really actually came because of my transfer was nothing to write home about. There was this 2004 reform, pension reform, that caught up with me. And as such, my money was split between who was to pay 25 years and who was to pay 10 years. I'm still battling with that as we speak. And
Is that same federal and state?
Yes. Well, FCT is also a state.
Yes.
Then between my own state, that is Taraba State,
and the FCT.
So this is 10 years down the line of my retirement. But I'm yet to be finally settled.
So what are you doing in the interim? Because you look good.
Well, on the interim, I'm happy to tell you that I'm a consultant in my profession, town planning. So what I did about 10 years or 5 years before my retirement is what I'm still doing at the moment. And in fact, that came to mind because the people who took us that 5 years before retirement told us that we can rely on what we're doing now, you know, as an exit point. So I'm still doing, you know, my consultancy.
Your profession?
In my profession, from where, you know, I retired from. And then I'm still doing, you know, youth empowerment thing, you know, cooperative, talking to youths, etc. So that is what I'm still doing. And I think I'm okay.
You look good and you look fulfilled.
It's great to hear
Thanks
from
be
you,
to God. Yes.
Mama Ruth. There's something that's happening now because it's not the way things were that they are now. And even when Mr. Arome, who retired with dignity because he had a purposeful and intentional plan based on what he saw in his own nuclear family earlier on, he had the ability and the fortitude and was able to forecast and foresight what the future would envisage. Thus, He exited with dignity, and we can see him here. In fact, no one can see him and refer to him as a retiree.
Not at all, even myself.
Indeed, indeed. What we learn now is that every worker should have a side hustle. Yes. You ought not to wait even until you retire. That while you yet work, you should be able to multitask in specific areas where you can earn. And we wonder, with some jobs that are so intense, where you're working almost 18 hours on a daily basis, one wonders, do we need to lean very closely to Mr. Rome to learn how to do 3 or 4 things as side hustles while we work, so that we can have that dignity we desire to own when we exit? Or do you advise people to retire and not to wait till they are 60 before they exit? What is the magic?
Okay, thank you for that question, and that's very important. Now, it doesn't have to work the same way for everybody, depending on what skills you have built before the time of this decision, and exactly what you want for the future. These are the nexus where each of these decisions will be connected to. I'd like to start with somebody who wants to really get all through their career, get through those 35 years before retiring. I'd like to start with that. Everyone who gets to 10, 15 years before retirement has to be deliberate, meaning every casual leave must be tied to something. Every annual leave must be tied to something, because developing skills has to do with area of passion. If you develop skills in area that is not a passionate area that you love to do or work, you are going to have crises having to achieve fulfillment when you retire. And that's why it must be deliberate. Number one, you will have to carry out what we call a discovery of self, what you love to do, with or without earning anything from it. Like we've always told people, if you can offer anything free and you still love and you're passionate about offering that, then that's where you are going to be fulfilled eventually after retirement. Meaning you begin to look and scan through these areas. Which of them will you be comfortable with? Which of them can you begin with the means to an end? Because there are a lot of skills you want to develop that is capital intensive. And there are skills you want to develop that you can just start with what you have and where you are. Now, means to an end in the entrepreneurial development is starting from what you can afford, skills you can pay for, skills that you don't need too much of equipment to get started. The moment that is identified, then you can begin to develop skills. Now, you can also begin to save towards a particular area of skill development. Now, once you identify that area of passion, you begin to focus and develop skills in that area. Casual leave time will work. Public holidays are there. Instead of just sitting down like somebody who has 20, 25 years to go.
Well, before we go, can I ask you something?
Please go ahead.
Because there almost seems like there's no time to relax and rest anymore. Because when I tell people I hardly take a vacation except I have something planned, they're like, indeed, won't you rest? You are working full time, you take your vacay, you want to work again.
Now, you see, for somebody who is focused and deliberate about retirement in 10, 15 years, the story is a bit different. It's different in the sense that what is before you is either going to add to you or is going to take something away from you. And so that's why your vacations must be deliberately focused on a specialized skills that you want to add value to yourself and in preparation for retirement. So the time to have vacation, you can have vacation while learning. That's why organizations send people on retreats. Retreat is different from regular trainings, workshops, because during retreats you have time to bond. You have time to even do some skills training while on retreat. You know, even though these days we don't see those retreats anymore, because I'm a HR consultant. You know, I take NGOs, international NGOs, local organizations, government agencies, and private companies in different workshop trainings. The challenges of fun seems to be taking that away from people. Because when you travel from here to US, for example, you should have 1 or 2 days that you look out for something in line with your skill and profession, where you go out 1 day or 2 days to develop.
Just before Patience takes us to our next package, I want to ask you something, Mr. Aroma. You know, everybody's capability is not the same. You seem to be keeping very busy. You are doing almost 10 things.
Yes.
Is that humanly practical? Is it viable in the long term?
Now,
for those who retire at 60, for example?
Yes. Now, this is where what we call entrepreneurial mentorship and apprenticeship comes in. You don't run alone. You have people you look up to, you have people that look up to you. Yes. When you have people that look up to you and you have people you look up to, then you have that opportunity and the platform where you can do a lot of things but not doing it alone. Because you have people who can assist you here and there. You have people you can delegate activities to. You have people you can take instructions from. You can get an advice from. And so that mentorship apprenticeship is very key.
Can even outsource.
You can outsource, and you outsource at a very lowest cost. Because these are people who are learning from you, and you're also learning from other people. That way, you are going with all hands joined together as a team, and you are working successfully, climbing a ladder that seems heavier for an individual, but with ease, you are climbing it, and you will arrive with a lot of dignity, with a lot of results, and with a lot of references, where eventually when you retire, you are not going to lack what to do. If I'm working with Mama, for example, she's older than me, elderly, she's retired, there are kind of meetings, there are kind of assignments, there are kind of activities, there are kind of contracts and jobs, consulting jobs that she will handle better. Because if I have anything government related, she will relate better. Because it's a system she understands.
She may even still have some connections
to utilize. So she will be suitable for certain places. If there's a job that has to do with a lot of private and all that, because I work in the private sector for a while, I will be suitable. So you can see, you can work 3, 4, 5 people can work simultaneously and still have maximum result, because we are all maximizing our experiences, our skills, and our environmental connection to be able to drive
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Arome Sani. You are giving us a master class, and we are here all learning. Thank you so much. Another guest will join our conversation now from our Ibadan studios. He is Prince Adeleke Adeniyi. He is the National Secretary of Nigerian Union of Pension, the NIPOST, from the NIPOST end. Let's meet Mr. Adeniyi. He has a
Hello, Prince Adeleke Adeniyi. It's great to have you join our conversation today on Weekend Deal as we talk about retiring with dignity. And you look quite dignified, I would say. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good morning.
It's great to have you join us.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good morning to everybody.
How would you define retiring with dignity? What, in your own opinion, is retiring with dignity?
Dignity. That is $1 million question. I hope you are hearing me. That's $1 million question. But what I think is retiring with dignity is retiring and doing fine, well. What is yours comes to you at the right time, and you are able to live on with no stress. God bless you.
You are still at the helm of some affairs with regards to pensioners. You are a National Secretary of the Union of Pensioners who retired from NIPOST. Tell me the kind of responsibilities that you are saddled with at this time. Because I relate NIPOST retirees with, they've been talking out for quite a bit. What's the journey been like? And tell us about your responsibilities and how you're tackling them.
My sister, my responsibility as a result of the fact that I'm the National Secretary of the Union are enormous. To God be the glory, we are up to the task. We find ourselves in a country where pensioners have to beg for everything. We are not giving our dues at the right time. And we fall amongst the class of pensioners or organizations that are not recognized. We are not giving what is ours as at when due. So it takes a man that is, to God be the glory, able, a man that will not just keep quiet to be the National Secretary. Because I must confess, the work is enormous. I have been a pensioner for many years, but at the same time, there is no time to rest because of this work. God bless you.
Okay, before I come back to the studio, that's a question that I'm also going to ask our beautiful mama here. And the question is, do you think the government prepares us, civil servants, for retirement? Do you think the government is doing enough to make us ready for retirement?
Thank you for that question. From my own opinion, I think the retirement preparation now is not adequate.
It's not?
Yes. Well, during my own time, when I retired 10 years ago, it wasn't adequate, because if you know you are going to put someone out there and leave him on his own, then as the gentleman here said rightly, you're supposed to have sequences of, orientation for the said individual to know the repercussion.
How early do you think they should start? 10 years into, 10 years to retirement, 15 years, or 2 years? When should they start preparing us for retirement?
Well, something like 7 years.
At least 7 years.
At least 7 years. By the time you ring the bell, the 7th year, and they go through training up to the time of exit. Excuse me.
Yes,
maybe training could be 3 times a year. At the tail end, while at the beginning it could just be twice, so that they know what they're really going to, what will confront them at the end of the day. Especially when you know that their packages are not going to take them, on a monthly basis. They should even be given the leverage to start doing something, prepare themselves adequately to exit. Maybe by the time it is even 2 years, you encourage that person to open an office, to start. If he doesn't want to open an office, maybe he's a farmer or he wants to, the passion is in farming, then during the farming season, encourage that person to go out, and farm.
Okay.
And then you give him orientation on how to keep, his business books, cash out, cash in, those kind of orientation, accounting skills.
Practical skills
yes,
on how to maintain your business. Amazing.
That will do. But going out and meeting, a kind of dead end can really be frustrating. And that is why you find a lot of pensioners out in the streets, screaming, yes, for more all the time. The pension is never enough.
It's never enough. And the times are changing. It's, as you transit, what you experience, in fact, cost. All we have are things going up. Hardly anything is coming down. So that's where we need the likes of Mr. Aroma, because it seems that we ought to also have the privilege and the ability to forecast in the most audacious way, because we must think far, far ahead, or else, because little matter how you plan, because this story is like a recurring decimal. There are hardly many happy pensioners, especially those who have served government meritoriously for 35 years. And it's because we want to prevent what has happened in the past. That's why we're having this conversation. Mr. Aruma, we've talked about multitasking. We must. The side hustles must come in somehow, somewhere. But we've also had cases where people took very courageous decisions to even transition in terms of their calling. We have people at 50, 55 saying, I think I'm going to do something I've never done before, because this thing I've done for 20 years may not help me retire with dignity. Are we doing more of that now? Because we've been doing things the way you are saying. We've been talking, we've been going for training, we've been getting financial and entrepreneurial intelligence, but still, almost 60% of the pensioners in Nigeria are not retiring with the said dignity. Where are we missing? Where are we missing it?
Okay, thank you very much. We have spoken clearly about waiting till 30, 35 years for retirement. What you're discussing is the second arm of it, coming out early. When you wait, just like my beloved Mama Ro just spoke about, the challenge is not that we're doing these things and we're not getting results. The challenge, we're not doing it properly. Is the quality of training and the quality of support that is the issue. Now, before I focus on coming out retiring early, let me just add to that. 7 years is good enough for apprenticeship, but it's not good enough to be a master. What do I mean? The regular Igbo apprenticeship is between 3, 4 to 6 years. 5, 6 years. They are still coming to begin to learn directly as their own boss. They were first of all reporting to their superior, where they learned the job and the handwork, the skills, for this period of years. So they've learned a lot of things. But as a final decision maker, they are still going to learn on the job as their own boss. So when you, that's why I would like to add to what Mommy Rose said. 7 years is not enough. It can't be less than 15 years of taking people. Now, we don't have time, but when you have time, please do a little research about the foreign organizations like the breweries and all that. Have you noticed that they don't give their distributorship to just somebody who just comes by the way? Most of their big distributorship goes to those who retire from them, who understands the system.
The business.
The sub-distributors are like me and you who come to them and all that. But the real big distributors are the ones who have retired from them, who understands how the business works. Because 7 to 10 years is not enough. You have to deal with the business itself. business intelligence itself, how to manage the business itself. Manpower management is one of the most difficult things in the whole of business. Kida.
Just before we say thank you, are you now asking us, don't always wait for government to do everything for you?
Absolutely.
We need to take the initiative.
You must take the initiative because government has so much in its hands, it can't do enough. So, not just individuals, there should be organizations like us who willingly say, oh, I want to come and if you have time. Because people don't value that, even when you say it's going to be free, they don't even value the quality of what you are coming to give. And because it's not going to have extra code, it's not going to take them to travel anywhere, they don't know that this is part of their bargain that they must start early before government's own adds to it. And in doing that, you are going to prepare yourself enough. You will be conscious walking into retirement. You'll be conscious starting up that business. You'll be conscious about whether the money is enough or not. You are going to build a skills that if everything crashes, you will start up again because the skill is yours. That's what we call skill ownership.
Indeed.
When you own the skill, you can restart it over and over again.
Indeed. Good thing. You know. So many of us now can and should learn the skills that matter, irrespective of if we have 10, 7 years left, or even 15. And as many skills as possible is the name of the game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to thank you.
As early as you can too.
We want to thank you very much, Mr. Roma Sani. You've been amazing. Like Patience said, this is a master class, free master class. You know, I wish I had something recording all you've been sharing. Then I know I even take it now and go and teach more people. Thank you so much for coming to help us identify what is key to enable us all retire with dignity. It's been a pleasure listening and learning from you. Patience, where are we going next?
Okay.
Messages
yes, then we have a lot of messages. A lot of messages. So what it says, good morning. I am a military personnel retiring soon, and I need a consultant. Please, can I get the number of Emmanuel Arome? Somebody needs a number here. There's a good day, deal. I'm Charlie Flo, and I want to come in as an artist. I like to perform at big weddings and all. Please connect me. I want to be connected to you. Okay. Good morning. This topic is amazing and interesting. I'm about retiring. I've been afraid and I've been praying about it. I want to pray it away, but it's staring me in the face. Okay. Oh, yeah. Retiring with dignity should be on the mind of every worker. I retired 4 years ago, and I thank God I am still contributing to society. Retirees should not sit idle at home and rot away. You didn't tell us where you're reaching us from, but this contribution is rich. Thank you so much. Can I take another one? Wow. Okay, this is a bit personal. Good morning, Anti-Patience. Well, I keep telling you I'm a chick. Which one is Anti-Patience? I am not old. Say good morning, Patience.
You know, the culture now.
I beg, please, oh.
The pride in the culture.
Is that why you're adding age to my culture? What is that? There's a whole lot going on here. So I said, good morning. Retirement is a good thing if you plan it well. If you don't plan it well, you will cry, and cry. You didn't tell us your name and where you're reaching us from. Okay, Thelma, you can take it away.
Okay. Okay, I want to thank you, Patience, and thank you, viewers who are reaching out to us. Without you, there is no us. Thank you very much for keeping our company and for being here to properly position us and remind us that we need to be strategic and intentional about retiring with dignity. Mr. Emmanuel Arome Sani, Principal Consultant, Generic Concepts Management Consulting Limited. Weekend do, we'll take a break. We're talking about retiring with dignity. Don't go anywhere. We need more of your input as the show goes on.
We all work with one overarching goal in mind: retirement. We plan, save, and invest, all so that when the day comes, we can finally enjoy the golden years we have dreamt of. Many retirees find themselves struggling to transition from the busy working world and to design a new day-to-day lifestyle that feels meaningful.
While working, you need to know that one day you leave the normal schedule. And so to plan for it, I came up with a few small-scale businesses which can keep me going.
You can retire into your own private business. You can make sure you arrange on things that will occupy you. And at the same time, still get yourself connected to God, the source of life, the source of good health.
Good health management is the key to enjoying retirement, though old age is often associated with an increased risk and prevalence in various health conditions.
Problems that can be associated with retiree, I wouldn't say with retiree as such, but with old age, are things like hypertension is very common, things like diabetes. In some cases, you can also have cancer.
Health and happiness go hand in hand in many ways. Prioritize your physical health, seek out new and creative ways to get your body moving. Eat healthy and spend time with people who make you feel good. All go into maintaining your health.
What keeps the body fit is food and drink. And then one should be able to take care of the kind of what you take into your body. Depending on your health situation, you can do medical checks from time to time to ensure you remain healthy.
I normally do daily checkup. Once in a while I go. Anytime I feel any pains or anything around me, I go and do the checkup.
Normal exercises. And then eat well. Listen to your system. If you were drinking, you reduce the drinking, and then know that your age may not take enough of such.
I visit friends, I visit colleagues, I visit classmates. Again, I'm still busy in the church.
The importance of fitness, diet, and mental health cannot be overemphasized. Dr. Olugbemi Motulewa of the Department of Community Medicine, University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, Uyo, shed more light on the ways to maintain common health issues in old age and in retirement to avoid loneliness.
As a retiree, there are basic measures that is expected for you to put in place to remain healthy. Because age is involved and because of the wear and tears, there is a need for regular checkup of the body, check up for blood pressure as often as possible, check up for glucose level, that is blood sugar. So there's complete checkup that should be done, if it's possible, every 6 months. And whatever it is identified, treatment should be started immediately. You have to eat well, healthy diets. So those healthy diets should include things like plenty vegetables, plenty fruits. Most elderly should go on low salt diets, low fatty foods, avoid late eating, possibly also avoid alcohol. As much as possible, you should not be alone. You should have people to talk to around you to avoid depression. Engage yourself, maybe in some social meetings, church programs, and all of that to keep your mind going.
I retired but not tired. I supervise a school. I go to work around 7:30.
After retirement, you must continue to get yourself engaged. Otherwise, you become weak, you become lonely. And it's not the best to stay one place from morning till evening after retirement.
Finding happiness in every stage of life comes down to cultivating balance. Aim to strike equality between your social life and solitude, between pushing your boundaries and being comfortable, and between indulging in your hobbies and enjoying downtime. Health is wealth. Stay fit after retirement.
Thinking like I'm walking my last steps. Thinking like I'm walking my last steps. Look at all the promises that I've kept. Look at all of these tears I've wept. I put my all into your hands, and the soul to keep, no matter wherever I am. You're the heart to reach, and you bless me with the best gift that I've ever known. You give me purpose. Yeah, you given me purpose. Yeah, you give me purpose. Yeah, you given me purpose. Thinking like I'm taking my last breath. Thinking like I'm walking my last steps. Look at all of these tears I wept. Look at all the promises that I've kept. I put my all into your hands, and my lesson to keep, no matter wherever I am. You're not hard to reach, and you bless me with the best gift that I've ever known. You give me purpose. You give me purpose. Yeah, you give me purpose. Yeah, you given me purpose. And if you can't be close to you, I settle for the ghost of you. I'll miss you more than life. And if you can't be next to me, I will settle for the ghost of you. I'll miss you more than life. Yeah, I'll miss you more than life. Yeah.
Republic. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Okay, joining our conversation is someone who has also seen it all and done it all. He is Dr. John To Agbide. He is the founder CEO of in-country Medicare. Let's see his profile.
Dr. John To Agbide, you're welcome to Weekend Deal.
Nice to be here. Nice to be with you.
Thank you so much for coming. And we'll touch base with Prince Adeleke Adeniyi in Ibadan, who retired as a Chief Assistant Secretary at the Nigerian Postal Service. He is also very, very effectively championing the cause of pensioners with a NIPOST. Prince Adeleke, we want to ask you, because of that feature we just saw, which has reminded us that health indeed is wealth. And little matter how how dignifying your retirement is. You need to be healthy, you know, to be practical and to take practical steps. Tell us, how are you championing keep fit practices and experiences for your members over there in Ibadan? What's it like?
It's not just about Ibadan, it's all over Nigeria. I'm the national secretary. However, championing the health of pensioners has been an uphill task. The truth is, every day, day in, day out, you hear reports of your colleagues that are sick. People are dying in droves. They are not finding it easy at all. And when you talk of keeping fit, it takes a man that is happy to be fit. One of the things that can make a man to be fit is joy. Majority of pensioners are not joyful. Okay, maybe the word joyful is far too much, but they don't have joy. And you will not blame them. Like I heard the other man at your hand talking. If you will enjoy pension or your pension period, you must have a good life. How many pensioners have a good life? How many pensioners are living fine? I have people who are disillusioned, disheveled, people who are not happy at all about their lives. Only can you see, because when the man was talking, the man in white, forget his name now, he was saying some things good. I was happy to hear him. But the question is, how many pensioners can boast of such? It takes people who have trained their mind to be okay to enjoy their pension period. However, it is never too late. While I came in here, the manager here was saying, "Nice for retirement." I said, "Why not? I thank God. I'm being careful. I'm always on the road. I travel a lot, but I manage myself very well." So, when the madam was talking over there, some things came to my mind. The training that pensioners are supposed to receive before we retired are not taken care of. I wonder if it is the money that is supposed to take care of that program that is not released to them, or it's intentional or something is wrong. I don't want to go there. But before someone can retire, he is supposed to have been trained, supposed to have received some rudiments about retirements. This is absent. The man was talking about 7 years to retirement and all that. Where is that taking place? It's not taking place. For you to retire, the truth is, you ordinarily should be prepared for retirement. Are we prepared for retirement? In Nigeria, you just become a pensioner, and that is all. If you like, you live. If you like, you die. Pardon me, I'm not an anti-government person, but I'm saying the truth. However, like I always tell people, look at me. I'm not, without sounding proud, pardon me, I give myself peace of mind. Okay? So, what a dignified pensioner needs is a peace of mind. But the question, where is the peace when you don't have money to eat? Where is the peace? How can you be peaceful? How can peace be your friend? How can peace be your own portion when you are in 4 p.m. in the day, you are yet to take anything? I am, for example now, the pension increment that is supposed to have been given to me since last year, they are owing me about 10 months. And nothing that I can do. We hear that the President Tinubu administration has released money. Where is the money? When you talk too much, you become a friend of the establishment. These are the issues we need to talk about. Not when I hear people saying 7 years to the things. Yes, you are talking right, but it is only a man that has peace of mind that can prepare. It is only a man that is collecting his money as at when due that can prepare. If your pension that is supposed to have been handed about a year ago is not yet with you, how can you plan? These are the issues we need to take care of. We need to plan for. Let me give you an instance. If I am a pensioner, I am a father, no doubt. I have children that are married. If I am not praying for the people that are supposed to pray for this nation, for God to hear, are the pensioners. We are supposed to be at the forefront. Our pensions are supposed to be the first one to be paid before the people that are working receive their own. But this is not what is happening in Nigeria. We have said these things over the years. I'm always everywhere. I travel at my age. Around 65, I travel all over the nations. It's not supposed to be so. We are not supposed to be beggars. Pensioners are beggars in Nigeria. And it's not supposed to be like this. I'm not supposed to be angry. Pardon me, and I'm not hungry. I live in my house, but how many pensioners can afford to do that? And being able to live in my own house that I built with my wife and it's a painstaking job. It's not something that is easy. When I see people that are working now and they are talking, I look at them, I pity them. I pity them. You don't be, I think that I can recognize Tema Obasi there, if I'm not making mistake. I know some of your colleagues that have retired, but when you see them in town, you pity them. This is everywhere. It's all encompassing, and this has to change. Thank God for this government, they are trying. They are not. But the problem is, I often ask myself, why is it that this thing continue? Is it that we don't love ourselves? Are we in trouble for being a Nigerian? What is the problem? All these things have to change. There must be a painstaking program, a painstaking development, a painstaking, all-encompassing program that will make retirement a roller coaster.
Okay, thank you, Prince Adeleke Adeniyi. Thank you, Prince Adeleke. You know, we said here that we must begin to do things differently if we want different outcomes. And good thing, Mr. Emmanuel Aro Mesani joined us to take the initiative for the most part and not to even wait for the 7 years. You see, after working for 10 years, you must begin to think outside that box within where you work. But I want to thank Prince Adeleke Adeniyi for lending his expert knowledge to this conversation. Mr. Emmanuel told us here that he saw something happen with his parents, and he told himself, not I. And that's where his planning began. I think without being told more than this, we need to begin to think outside the box. Definitely things are different now, and we also can do better and utilize our initiative to make a more purposeful path and plan for ourselves. I know many messages are reaching us, and we'll address them. But before we begin to do that, Dr. John Toagbide, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What we hear now, more often than not, even at 50, you just hear he slumped. Before he was rushed to so-and so, he was declared, she slumped. Even 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds, 50-year-olds, you know, and we're talking about keeping fit and not living sedentary lives. Where are we missing it?
Well, thank you very much for that question. Maybe before I go into full discussion, let me use this opportunity to applaud the efforts of NTA in coming up with programs like this. You are just ingenious. And I think the public is really learning. Where you bring different expertise, to express their own opinion, to teach, and then so that it can help us. For the purposes of our discussion today, I would like to set very clear tone that man is born, human beings were born to live and die. And how soon we die, we die, and how well we live depends on our lifestyle. And this, by extension, goes to our life after retirement, which we're discussing today. We also said that no one ever dies of old age. You die because as you age, as a result of wrong lifestyle, disease comes in. And it is the disease that kills you. Now to your question, people slumping, they will report, oh, he was well last night, but this morning he was found dead. Let me set some ground rules here. There are key mistakes that we make, especially since our discussion is on retirees or retirement. I would like to focus on that. The key mistakes that people make in our lifestyle that will bring about sudden death, or we are not able to live to the potential age that man is meant to live. The biological age of man is 120 years, but we don't get up to that. Most people after retirement, maybe at 60, they don't even reach 85. Most people that die within this range. Why? Let's look at the mistakes that people make. The number one mistake is what we call, after retirement, we go into sedentary living. We stop working. We stop movement. You're just glued onto your TV, get up in the morning, your tea, your newspapers, and you sit. And there is a rule which I call the 33-30 rule. And what do I mean by this? We are not supposed to sit down for more than 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we're supposed to stand up and walk around. If we do this, it has been shown that we would increase our longevity by 30%. That's what I meant by the 33-30 rule. This is very, very important. Movement, man is actually an animal that is supposed to move, and then that's why you move while standing. That's why God created us to be erect. When we move, it is then that even the blood in our own system that carries nutrients and oxygen, circulates very well. It is when we move that our neurotransmitters that affect the brain, that they make the brain to be active. The brain is, active. So I can go on and on the importance of movement and then walking. So people who are retired should encourage. I'm very happy to hear Prince, who is 65 now. He engages in a very active life, and they say he moves all over the country. That is very good. And no wonder it is. And I can tell you, if you continue with that active lifestyle, you're going to live much, much longer. And I pray you do. And continue with the good work you're doing.
Amen.
So number two is people who are retired, they neglect routine medical checkup. They feel, well, I'm now over 60. I mean, life has come to a standstill for me. Now I've got children, I've got this. So there is no need for routine medical checks up. And that is a big mistake. Routine medical checkup is not just only for you to discover that there is a problem with you. But when you know that there is no problem, it adds to your happiness and quality of life. The second point is that when you discover that you have a problem at an early stage, the propensity of medical intervention being successful is higher. Most people, I can just give you an analogy that you are driving an old car and you don't service it, you don't change engine oil, one day the engine will just knock. And that is the reality of life. So as humans, we're supposed to check ourselves, check the engine, put the engine oil, lubricate your car very well, and it will move without...
You have messages, patients?
Yes,
I do.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Well, remember I said there are... Yes, so we've just mentioned two of those mistakes that people make. In the course of our discussion, I'm going to cover the other three. It's very important we know this.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Dr. John Toagbide. Patients, where are we going?
Okay, so Christy Akpauso will be joining the conversation, and she did a wonderful research, and she tagged it Stepping into the Sunset Boulevard.
Retirement for some is the final curtain call. The word sounds like an ending, but in truth, it marks the beginning of a new chapter built on decades of effort, passion, and dedication.
35 years in service or 60 years of age, which one comes first? You have to go. But what matters most is that even right from day one of your entry into the organization, you must know that one day you will retire. So you start to plan for your retirement. Because either you retire due to sickness or due to statutory retirement age.
You should be proud from where you're coming from and the friends you made in the course of your work and or duty while you were there. And of course, the experience you garnered over time and age is something you should cherish, and it is something that should be, with time, benefit a lot from, and you should also be in a position to, in fact, imbibe such experience on the younger generation that are coming up.
Retirement is a harvest of everything you've planted across a lifetime. The relationships you've built, the knowledge you've shared, the time you have given all comes together in this moment.
In fact, 35 years in service is not a joke. It means you must have spent all your life, relating with them. So even if you retire, there is this tendency that you still have to relate with them. There's no way your old friend will call you and you will not call them back. There's no way you will not meet, this is we used to go out together to one joint or the other. You must, in fact, that is even the better way of keeping yourself busy. You cannot lose a relationship.
I've gone back to the private practice and I'm trying to recover those lost areas. So I've not lost it. I don't see myself losing anything as a legal practitioner. And I thank God for my colleagues, professional colleagues, lawyers who are there and support me for me to get back to my feet as a private legal practitioner.
It is not just a season of reflection, but a reward. A time to slow down, not stop. To shift from giving your time to a career, to giving it to yourself, your loved ones, and your passions.
You have to discipline yourself, even right from day one in the service. If you are talking about contributory system, you have to contribute for what? You must discipline yourself. I'm earning 100,000 naira. I want to be keeping 20,000 naira every month, so that at the end of the year, I can even reinvest. I can reinvest to have more money, so that at the end I will get money to start my business. You have to identify what kind of business will I do easily.
You begin to prepare for your retirement the very first day you resume your office as a public servant. Because if you have at the back of your mind that this job, God granting you long life, you will finish it, and then you will now go back to your private life. So you begin to prepare.
Retirement is not just an ending. It is a celebration, a harvest of a life well walked and a future well earned.
Oh, thank you, Christy. That was beautiful. Thank you, Christy. We will have to be prepared for that day. Yesterday, I was a youth coming by in this house. Today, like they say, it's history. The rest is history. So, Mama, retirement. Let me talk about the big elephant in the room, and that's money. Do you think that children are a good retirement plan as we wrap up? Do you think children are the proper retirement plan?
Thank you so much. Yes, you have invested in your children, and by the time you get to this age of retirement, one hopes, they are already out of the university and they are already earning for themselves. So they in turn will take care of you, as somebody said out there. So I think children is one aspect. And I wanted to contribute to what Doctor said about health. You see, while you're in the civil service, that 8 hours you do sitting down really affects, the bone, the muscles. So many people end up having, you call the doctor, if I may say something medical, they call it muscular
atrophy.
skeletal.
Musculoskeletal atrophy.
Okay. So, and apart from that, cholesterol also builds in when you're not taking the right kind of diet. So the lifestyle that doctor said, I saw myself also having a complete change thereafter. So one must stick to that rule of walking about. After maybe, if not 30 minutes, 1 hour, you just move about. And then you come, by the time you're 50, try to get this lifestyle change completely. Adjust your diet. It helps a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Dr. John Tor Agbide, we cannot overemphasize the need to keep fit. And the reason we're having this conversation is to prevent what has already happened. So for those of us now who are in the system, to avoid what the challenges that those who have gone ahead of us have faced, what do we start to do today?
Well, let me answer that question by continuing the 5 common mistakes that we make. That is really key. If you avoid those mistakes you see, let me just list them because we may not have time. We talk about walking, we talk about need for frequent medical checks, and we talk about what we call social balancing. Most people, when they retire, they say, oh, their life is just over for me. They keep to themselves. Isolation, in other words. And isolation is a really problem. It really depresses your body reactions, your chemicals. You can't think very well. Very soon the body starts giving up. You say that, well, since I'm not really engaged, let me go. And then the 4th one is what we call chronic inflammation. Stop ignoring chronic inflammation. You may notice a pain in your hand. You think that it is just that pain in the hand, but you will discover that the problem has started way long ago. If you don't go to check this, and you can easily do this with first seek medical attention, taking anti-inflammatory agents like things like turmeric, ginger, and then the rest of them. They will really help you overcome inflammation. Then lastly, there is what we call losing a purpose for life. You don't have a purpose. Most people who are retired, they say, well, I've done it all. I've achieved this, I've done this, I don't have anything, to show. It has been shown that honestly, people who do not have a purposeful life, mostly people who retire, especially when you look around, people who are really very active, either be different professions I don't want to mention so that I will not be accused. When they come out of that life, and they are no longer active, you see that their own health will decline very fast because they no longer are getting engaged. They are just isolated. They don't think well. Very soon the brain starts, giving up. So these 5 key things that I've said is really very important. What I would like to emphasize is this: yes, why we look at the problem of retirement, it should not be left in the hands of governments and this. You have your own personal responsibility too. That's why I like one of the programs of NTA that said that, health, your health is in your hands. So take responsibility. Why the government and then other agencies will seek to, assist you. Also, religious faith-based is really very important in promoting our own health. Don't be just hopeless in life. Know that there is somebody up there who is, supreme, and he is in control. This really helps in promoting and augmenting your health.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Jonto Agbide. It's always a delight to have you on this show. We also want to extend our thanks to Prince Adeni Adeleke in Ibadan. You brought so much to our program. We appreciate you. And people are writing. Maybe I should sign you off with this message. Somebody said, thank you, Daddy Adeleke Adeni. It is true that one is not happy. One labored for 35 years, trained children after NYC, no job for the children. And even the gratuity that one needs to help them to establish them is not paid after 10 years. So people are agreeing with you. We just hope that at the end of the tunnel, like we always say, there is light. Thank you, Prince Adeni. Mama, you're welcome. Thank you so much for your input on our program. We appreciate you. Doctor, we appreciate you. We will be joining Godwin Enahina for Sports Planet. He had a conversation with
Welcome back to the studios of Weekend Deal. My name is Suleiman Babajia Usman, and we head straight to the papers. Of course, Godwin will always say, Thelma, pray for Nigeria. And if there's that time that we need to pray for Nigeria, certainly today is definitely part of it, because the Super Eagles will need that prayer to overcome their opponent today in the World Cup qualifiers, because it's already a trickish,
I remain optimistic.
Definitely. Now, let's head straight to the papers. Now to the leading story. We're starting with Leadership Weekend. 2027, shaky political base structure threaten Jonathan's comeback move. Support from South-South, other zones in doubt. Lawyers disagree on eligibility. Details of that are on page 4. Trust me, Thelma, patience, we are going to see more of political stories, you know, as we, gear up to the 2027 general elections. We are not there yet, but certainly the permutations is already taking the lead. Now to Weekend Trust. Still straight to the headline, voter registration, where it stands, a breakdown of continuous voter registration, that is CVR, from 25th to 29th August 2025 there. Now look at the infographic there. Look at the stats there. Female ratio to that of male, it's between 51% to 48% when we talk about registration demography online, and in person the number is still there favoring the female. And of course, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the willingness to come out to vote during the election. Apathy. And also, making yourselves a bit available for the, these political positions, because the number is there. If we want a female president today, and then you have females, everybody coming out to support, to vote for that person, definitely.
Sule, do you have a plan?
No, I'm talking about you.
And I took it back to your court.
All right, so we head straight to the Blueprint Weekend, to the leading story here. It says the real reasons deputy governors don't succeed their principles. Investigation, inordinate ambition, trust issues, greed, major concerns. It's always a problem. Hardly you see that smooth transition, and you expect that this is a leadership structure. I have done my part. I should trust my deputy to take over. But that is not the case in most of the scenarios we have experienced in Nigerian politics so far. Now to the nation. Still on 2027 general election, Jonathan in dilemma, associates split. Why former president embarked on exploratory visit, associate it cost him nothing to say, no if he is not interested. Well, that is much we can take from the Nation, and we move straight to the Vanguard. Something, of soft power here to the lead in the story. It says how Afrobeat superstars are redefining global music scene. Their lifestyles, money, cars, jet. And of course, for me, this is our strongest soft power. It is like our cultural export. You understand? Because these the musicians are really redefining how Nigeria is perceived abroad. Of course, we have come a long way.
We have.
And with our music, definitely a lot of people want
and they
to
work quite hard, though. You won't believe.
Extremely
They work hard to make good music. They've worked hard to be acknowledged.
And talking about good music, we know we have a musician.
That's right.
Am I okay? Is it okay? This one. Summer, winter, autumn, springs, mountains, blue skies, and the seas, rainbow, sunshine, and the seas. You made Jesus the maker of them all. Everywhere I go, I see you right there. In the beauty of nature, you shine all around. For you are everything, and everything is you. Precious Jesus, the wonderful wonder you are. Oh, 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 Sunny. Oh,